So I was whining to my wife the other day, said, I need new glasses. And she said, well, get some. I couldn't tighten them anymore. They were scratched. You know the thing, right? But I didn't want to go through the process because you have to make the appointment. You have to spend weeks to get them done. And you got to pay a fortune, right? That's real. But I did. I spent $500 on frames and glasses, and that was cheap. And then I ordered a pair from my sponsor, Zenni Optical, for $70. Zenni is an online eyewear shop. Prescription glasses, sunglasses, blue light lenses, starting at under $30. You go to Zenni.com, you pick a frame, upload your prescription, and they ship it to your door. No appointment, no store, no upsell at the counter. And by the way, if you are saying, do I really need new glasses, or do I have to put up with one pair to do everything I need to do for the next 2 years? No! You can get what you want starting at under $30. And if you've never bought glasses online, don't worry about it. I haven't either. Zenni has a virtual try-on, so you can see exactly how the frame looks before you commit to buying them, with no salesman looking at you saying, those look good, but these expensive ones would look better. No, you don't get that. I'm excited. I can't wait to get my Zenni glasses and tell you more about them. If your glasses are overdue for a refresh, now's the time. Go to Zenni.com/podcast and use the code podcast15 for 15% off your first order. The styles sell out, so don't sit on it. That's Zenni.com/podcast. Promo code podcast15. You might have heard that live shopping is exploding, and I have to tell you, I have been on Whatnot for a couple of weeks now, and I see why it is. Now, Whatnot is my sponsor, and they are the reason I got on the platform and checked it out. I'm glad they did. They made it easy for me. I'm going to make it easy for you. I love it. Whatnot is where you get great products without paying full price. It's that simple. I'm hooked on their live shows, too. You got to see them. They're so much fun. And I see why Whatnot has climbed to the top of the App Store. And listen, if you're selling online, or maybe you have a storefront and you're hoping people will find your listing or maybe walk in your store, Whatnot flips that, because on Whatnot, you go live and you sell directly to people in real time. And I may admit, although you didn't hear from me, I may have picked up a couple of power tools or so in the past couple of days. I'm just saying. Whatnot, it's the largest dedicated live shopping platform with beauty, collectibles, electronics, luxury, fashion, even cookies, and anyone can sell. In fact, people who sell on Whatnot sell 10 times as much as any other major marketplace. That's because you're not just listing products, you're building real connections with buyers. So whether you're shopping or you're selling, download the Whatnot app today and get free shipping on your first order. Just search WHATNOT, Whatnot, in the App Store and start scoring amazing deals. What's happening? Come on in. Man, today's a perfect day. I was at the gym this morning, and I've been gone for about a month. I took a month off just to get some rest and do some other stuff. Walked in, my buddy Billy was there, and we had the best conversation. It was amazing. Neither one of us got a workout, but I got a workout afterwards. But to me, that's a perfect day. To me, when I can get up and go to the gym or go someplace and run into somebody I like and have some spirited conversation, that's one of the things that makes for an average perfect day for me. We're going to talk about that today. I teach this a lot, and I want you to have it. So listen closely, because it's simple to do if you put your mind to it. It is a daily boost from motivationtomove.com, the positive boost you need every single day. My name is Scott Smith. Good to have you here today. You know, this podcast really, I think this subject today kind of represents why this podcast exists. And this is being kind of self-centered, honestly, because I think on the surface, I like to help you. I like to teach you if I can. I don't think I always can, but most times I can get at least something in there that you go, okay, that was kind of worth it. But also the reality is this podcast was created because of what we're going to talk about today. Long before it was popular to create what they call the laptop lifestyle, I just said, I don't want to work for the man. I don't want to work a 40-hour week. I don't want to have to work weekends. I want to do what I want to do. If I want to take a week off, I take a week off. If I want to, get up late or get up early, that's what I want to do. And if I want to make a lot of money, then I go do it. And if I don't care, I don't care. A long time ago, and I think a lot of that happened when my first wife passed away. I mean, I was already there anyway. But when she passed away, man, boom, you talk about me just deciding. I looked at her dying at 46 years old, and I said, well, to hell with that. I'm going to live it my way. So this podcast really is it's a poster child of what we're going to talk about today. And I feel so powerful about this, creating an average perfect day. So let's talk about this a little bit. I've been talking about it for a very, very long time. Way back in 2010 or 11 is when I started talking these words. And some people get it and some don't. It works for some people, but it will work for you at least and to get your mind thinking. And that's what all this is about. So the average perfect day is based on this. It's based on the fact that if you could, on average, have pretty good days every day, your life, on average, would be pretty good, right? So we can't have a perfect day every single day. By the way, some people say, I don't want an average day. I want average nothing. Okay, we're not talking to you. Ultimately, it's going to be that way, right? It's hard to be perfect all the time. But if on average, life was pretty good every single day, and we did it every single day, you get into your life and be like, hey, life was pretty good. And really, it's kind of undramatic too, because when life is pretty good, it doesn't have to be exciting and happy all the time. It just means, hey, I'm kind of chill and life is awesome. That's what I want for you. A joyful nature, a content nature, and the average perfect day kind of gets you there. So on average, if your life could be pretty good every single day, wouldn't it be awesome? So what we're really doing here is we're talking to your subconscious mind. So you're not to go real deep on things here, but there's a core inside of you, way down deep inside, which is kind of what you believe. Those are your values and everything else. And these are probably things that keep you awake at night. I wish I could do this. I'm afraid of that. The core values are way down inside of you. Up on the surface are these surface level values, if you will. These are protection. These are the masks you have put on to live your day, because we have so much influence and so much going on in our life that distracts us constantly that you kind of have to put these masks on. You get up in the morning, I got a mask to, when I get out of bed. Got a mask to be a dad. I got a mask to, when I go to work, I have a mask to put on called the boss. On the weekend, I have my golf mask. We have these masks and these roles that we play. But none of them are true, because, and I know this because most people I know that put the mask on and go live are always looking for something else as well. So how does this work? Well, the average perfect day is a bit of a fantasy. Now, you may have a hard time with this. We're working on the subconscious mind. And all we're trying to do is unload what's inside of you. So all those thoughts, man, I wish my day could be like this. If I could just do it this way. If I could just, not have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and go to the job I hate. Great. But what would you do instead? So what we do is we sit down, we find a quiet spot, and we write a very detailed description. Now, you guys that are project managers and people like that run spreadsheets, you're going to make a to-do list. You're going to list everything in order. I get up in the morning, then I have my coffee, then I go to work, I pet the dog and stuff like that. That doesn't turn me on at all. Does it turn you on? No. So this is contextual. So if I'm going to ask you to do this, I'm going to say, sit down in a quiet spot, start in the morning, and write down, do you wake up with an alarm? What are you thinking when you wake up? Did you get enough sleep? How do the sheets feel in the morning? Are you going to stretch a little bit before you get out of bed? And what do you do first? Do you walk into the bathroom or you go pet the dog, get some coffee? What do you do first? What would you like to do? If you had your choice, and you really have to break through, because I know what you're doing right now, and I know what you think you can't do, but if you had your choice, it was your perfect day, and it was completely up to you to do the things you wanted to do, what would you do? And by the way, this is not material goods. I don't want you to do that either. I don't want you to focus on a sports car. If I had this car, man, my life would be happy. No, it won't. If you're going to do that, I want you to focus on being in the driver's seat of that car, the experience that comes with that. In fact, almost everything I'm talking about here today is about experience. So an average perfect day is looking at every single minute of the day and consciously saying, hey, if this could be perfect, if this could be the best day ever, what would I be doing? Now, sometimes people say, hey, Scott, do I need an average weekend day or do an average holiday or an average vacation day? The answer is, to me, the days are all the same. But the truth is, if I go on vacation, it's going to be different, right? Still, I like to have conversations. Still, I like good coffee. I'm still going to do some of the things I'm going to do on vacation. But yes, the answer is this. If you're working for a living, you can have an average perfect day for your work day. When the weekends come around, you can say, this is my perfect weekend. This would make me happy. Write it down. Now, there are a couple of rules of this.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
The rules is basically sit down and write a detailed and contextual kind of narrative. And you're not going to get it right the first time. Don't worry about that. I suggest you sit down and just kind of go through the day and say, if I could, on average, every single day, this is what I would do. Write it down. Then go off for a couple of days, come back and look at it again and go, wow, what was I thinking? Make some adjustments to it, okay? That's what you should be doing. So what are the rules? What are the rules? So this is where I have to ask you to kind of toss away I don't even toss. People fight me on this sometimes. So let me just give you the rules. Number one, as you write your average perfect day, there are no limitations. Whatever pops in your mind that you'd like to do or not do, there are no limitations. You're the boss here. This is a bit of fantasy. So you're able to write this day from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. And if you want to be really advanced, you can go ahead and write what kind of dreams you're going to have. I know it seems silly, right? But we're talking to the subconscious mind. We're letting you out. So no limitations. Anything that pops in your, do not say, oh, I could never do that. Don't say that. Write it down. It's so powerful. There's one other rule. No consequences. A lot of people do this and they start writing these. And before you know it, they go, well, if I did that, this is going to happen. I couldn't do it, a limitation. And man, if I did, my wife's going to get mad at me. Don't worry about it. This is for you. If you were to work with me one-on-one and we had a conversation, and I often will have this conversation with clients, I spend most of my time making it possible, taking away the limitations, taking away the consequences, and getting people just to relax. Please relax. See, the whole goal here is not to be irresponsible. The whole goal here is to be in control and just say, you know what? Hey, I am the boss of me. And while there are some limitations depending on your stage of life and how many kids you have, what kind of job you have, and how you make a living and all that kind of stuff, yeah, limitations for darn sure. But at the same time, doesn't mean you can't control them. Doesn't mean you can't influence your own life. And it just makes common sense. If you could, on average, create a really good day, a perfect day. Not every day, but on average, they were pretty darn good. It just makes sense that life is going to be pretty darn good. To me, that's simple. And I like simple. And I've lived this for 25 years. Let me tell you something else. Here's the cool thing about this. If you will take the time to do this, you may not believe me. This is kind of fantastical. You'd do it if I had you in seminar or had you in a coaching call, but you may not do it with me now. But when you do this, watch out. Because in a year or two or three, you're going to look at your life and say, wait a second. This looks a whole lot like what I wrote down 3 years ago. You're going to be so amazed by what happens because now we have shifted your focus. Your subconscious mind went to work and said, thank goodness you had finally admitted what you want to do. Let's go make it happen. And with you not even paying attention, it happens. I've seen it dozens and dozens and dozens of times just in my own life. Forget all the thousands of times I've seen it with other people. So go play with it, okay? Average perfect day. Easy enough. Tomorrow, we're going to build a bridge. Build a bridge to happiness. One of my favorite topics and the one that is most transformational around here. You're going to get it tomorrow on the Daily Boost.